Okay, so that's the end of our stay in Helmsdale. So off now for the next stage of the trip, up to Portskerra. And I think we'll be visiting one or two places that we identified as we went round on points of interest. So onwards and upwards. See you at the next stage. Okay, so we're on the road from Helmsdale to Portskerra, and while I'm filming some nice scenery while we're out of the clouds, I thought I'd just share one or two thoughts and impressions of our time on the East Coast, because I have read online that some people find it boring, and I can't see how that can possibly be the case. We've based ourselves quite deliberately in the middle of the eastern route in Helmsdale, and we've had 3 very full days, travelling as far north as Groats and as far south as Dunnet. And as I say, we've had 3 very full days, and we've identified several points of interest which we're going to revisit along this route. A couple of other points. We are here in early April, so off season, and we have found a couple of the attractions or points of interest that we would like to visit have been closed, and we were here early in the week on a Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, so that's a point worth checking. I think you do need to be prepared to walk to some of the points of interest too. Some of them are off the road and quite a long way off the road, so you need to check that out. And I have to say the signposting for some of them has not been particularly good, so I think to play safe, pop them in your sat nav or on your phone, and that should take you straight to where you need to be, not necessarily rely on signposts. Now we've come back uphill, and we really can't complain about having a day like this. It's good. It's a day to drive rather than see places. We've had 3 quite magnificent days of light and weather for filming, so the weather's turning, and just right for us for a day of driving. Just a point on the driving, lots of speed restrictions as you'd expect, and I'm up from Cornwall, Martin's up from Plymouth. We're very used to tourists where we live, and it's likewise with the locals here. They are very well aware of the roads, and they will overtake you on a road that they know to be safe, so just something to be aware of. But I have to say, just to summarise, the east coast of the NC500, very well worth visiting, and some of the scenery has been quite breathtaking, and we can't wait to get around to the rest of the route. So as I've said earlier, we're off now to Portskerra on the north coast, and more later on. Okay, so we're just approaching now the Laid Hay Croft Museum. This is one of the things we picked up, signposts when we drove past it a couple of days ago on the way to Groats. Well, the tea room's certainly open, so that'll be worth investigating for a cup of coffee. We'll see if the museum is actually open as well. So there we go. There's the Laid Hay Croft Museum. As you can see, some more classic Highland scenery. Right, first stop's in there for a cup of coffee. Yeah, we decided to come out of the Laid Hay Croft Museum. Interesting piece of local history, and a very nice tea room, I have to say there. And we're just going to head back into Dunnet Head, just to have a very quick look around. Swift about turn on that one, and it just reinforces the point I made earlier on about checking these places are open. But I have to say, this was only a whistle stop tour, so in the car, out the car back in. So here we go.
Okay, so we've come through Wick again on the way through to Portskerra. There is Ebenezer Place. This is the smallest street in the road. Ebenezer Place in Wick.
Okay, so after an impromptu stop at John and Groats and a very nice lunch, I have to say, fish and chips in one of the local cafes, we are just going to head out to Duncansby Point just to have a look and see what's there, and then heading along the A9 to Portskerra. I say the A9, I don't know if that's the name of the road, A9, A99. I did look at the map, but I can't remember.
A386, I think.
Oh, is it? Here we go. So we're going to nip off to Duncansby Point Head, or even Duncansby Head. Perhaps I should stop this video and start again. But just to show it's live. Hopefully we can take some good photos, if nothing else. Quite lively. Keep going. Oh.
This is for vehicle.
Can you get as far as you can, then turn around? There we are, Duncansby Head. I have to say, worth going a couple of miles out your way, because that's not on the route, that is away from the main route that we're going on, and away from the North Coast 500. But actually I've kept the video going because I like these clouds. We're just turning around to park up in the car park, and I'll keep the video running to see if we can get a view along the coast there. Okay, so we've parked up, I should say, and normally I'd get out the car and try and video a bit more of this scene, but we've had a few problems with the wind and sound in this last few days. The wind is so strong, I can't believe anyone's out in it. In fact, I don't think we could even open the car doors, so we'll have to make do with this. And if I whiz the camera around through the front view, there's a little bit of a sea mist there, but we can't even see the Orkneys. But definitely worth coming out your way. I would imagine on a nice day like the ones we've had, this would be a superb place to come and stroll along to take some photos or film. Well, the car that was parked next to us has now moved, and I'm afraid I've still got no intention of getting out the car, so just having another go at shooting that view around Pentland Firth. So we're sitting at Duncansby Head, and we can see John of Groats just in the distance there, and the Pentland Firth not looking very friendly at all. We've both commented the sea really doesn't look right. There's eddies and sort of waves going in different directions at once seemingly. It's very difficult to describe. A work colleague once told me that the Pentland Firth has reduced hardened seamen to tears, and I've no doubt that that's true. That particular colleague actually was stationed on the Orkneys way back in the day. Heading now for Portskerra, possibly pop in on Thurso on the way, and have a look and see what's either side of us as places of interest. We've got a plan, but we found out from the last few days that we stuck to the plan. Some places were closed because it's early in the season, and others we simply missed, and we came back to. So we'll have a little explore along the coast, get to our accommodation at Portskerra, and go from there really. On the next stage of the North Coast 500. Just taking this video to get a bit more of this sky. It's quite brooding. Could almost be from Wuthering Heights there. Dracula maybe. Yeah. places we were going to visit, but we did have the foresight with this one to see it's not actually open until the 1st of May, so obviously we're going to have to give it a visit. And there we go, just past the Castle of May. That's why it's called Castle of May. We've just come through Dunnet. We'll go back to Dunnet Head tomorrow, I think. There's Dunnet Bay. Thurso now. I think we'll probably be coming back in tomorrow to do a bit of shopping, to fill up with fuel again. Must be going right out there. Thurso now, and the weather's really brightened up. So 15 or so miles to Portskerra. Might be a good time to talk about the traffic on the route actually. We've got 3 cars in front of us, and I have to say we would consider that a busy road. We've come off season in the middle of April, early to mid-April, and I have to say the traffic has been an absolute dream. It's just been non-existent, and here we've got a tractor and a few cars following. Well, that's the most cars we've seen for quite some time, isn't it? In one stretch of road, but really so far, a comment on the route itself, the traffic has been extremely light, and it's been a pleasure to drive around. Hopefully that continues. I think when we head out of Portskerra towards Liverpool later in the trip, then we've got quite a long extended single track road. So we've been through one or two of those, and they haven't been too bad. Plenty of passing places, but let's see how we go when we get there. Anyway, on to Portskerra. An hour or so on the road. Approaching our next accommodation at Portskerra. We both commented on how the landscape changed on that last couple of miles. The landscape became much more desolate, like moorland, a bit like we were used to in Dartmoor, down in Devon. But of course, there's the added bonus of the sea up here, which we don't have on Dartmoor. Portskerra to find the actual house we're staying in. Okay, so we've got to our second destination here at Portskerra. Very nice, I have to say, inside. And now we're just off to kind of get our bearings, see where the local shops and so on are. Come back and settle in. So, back later. Okay, we've come down to the harbour at Portskerra and beach, and there we are. Weather's really improved since we were at Groats. Dunnet Head, the wind's dropped. Yeah, it's much clearer. There we go, that's Dunnet power station. Oops. I'll drop the camera. That's Dunnet power station.